I've heard when he done the course, I heard when he went to meet Karin the first time. And then when he came back, I saw the incredible transformation in him. First of all, physically, because he had scoliosis with his back. So he was, instead of being bent, stooped forward, he was suddenly upright, which made an incredible difference for his energy levels. Andreas was non-stop because at that stage he was here with me and the Isle of Man. And he came back and he was radiant. He had such an energy. He was so non-stop. And he told me about that. He said, I can't believe it. And then he managed to organize this 21 days meeting for me with Karin. He didn't really say much. He just said, okay, I've booked you this course with Karin. Just go with open mind and see what happens. Of course, I was expecting something. I knew something was going to happen simply because the transformation that was brought about in him. And yeah, that's how I met. That's how we made contact. Yes, exactly. It finished like a week ago, I think. It was interesting. After the first time, in the first evenings, I was very scared. It was a big detox for me in the beginning. And then I stopped. I was a little bit concerned. And then Andreas contacted Karin and said, well, I really feel strange about that. And she said, never mind, it's the detox. It's all the bad stuff that comes out. It's stuff like that. Towards the middle, I was really going, it was heavy going for me because I think there were so many things that had come out of my system. And then exactly after the middle, it was a stratospheric climb. Really upwards and upwards and upwards. For me, that was then this feeling of connectedness, being connected, feeling radiant, feeling my spiritual body almost, my spirit body, and everything was just illuminated. And I really felt elevated, and this connection is still here. But it took me basically 11 days after the 11th session to really feel a transformation. I felt low. I really felt depressed, severely depressed, especially right in the middle. Heavy, burdened down, almost like tired. And then I just kept going, and it was just as if there was a total shift after that middle. I always felt in the beginning, I also had, because one of my problems was that I had really bad nightmares in the beginning before that. And that's one of the reasons why I felt I had to come on, why Andreas felt I had to come on this. And the nightmares stopped after the middle. But yeah, the detox was mainly feeling down, really low, and feeling only right in the middle, the depression in the middle. But it was for a weekend, basically. Yes, indeed I have. I've been going to a therapist since 2014. I've done cognitive behavior therapy, and then I've done, there was another one. I've had also another healer here on the island, which was also, I can't say similar because it's not similar, but it was also through breathing and meditation. And then I had hypnotherapy. And it's interesting because all three of them made a difference to me, but this was taking it to a total different level. That's very difficult. For me, I can only talk about with the effects on me. I can't really describe what she does. But I think through her calmness and through the frequency maybe, and the honesty that she has, you feel that, but she really brings, for me, I feel that she brings you to a level where you feel really the physicality of yourself in your surroundings. And what is amazing for me is not only that, but also feel yourself in a bigger picture. For example, I can transform myself and imagine myself not only in my own space, but also I can imagine myself in the bigger picture, like in the global and also in the universal sphere. And because I know anatomy so well, and I know astronomy well, because astronomy is one of my passions, I really love it. I can transform myself and see myself as a speck in the bigger picture, but also then bring myself back and just in my surroundings feel myself. And that's, for me, that is very meaningful, because sometimes you miss things in life, but feeling so connected to where you are at that present moment in your surroundings, and then being able to take you as a piece, an entity, and transform you into a bigger picture, first of all a global and then a universal picture into the whole universe, is magical. I think it's really magical. Especially last night, I was also having sessions with Karin Haemmerle one-to-one, and last night we did the where we transformed into an empty zone, and that was taking you out of this exactly into the universe, where there's a black space, nothing else, and then you basically dissolve. And it was fantastic. I love that. And then bring yourself back. And I could really visualize the whole feeling, Pluto Baba. I could really visualize this whole thing of being out there, looking back onto the earth, and then coming down, zooming it down really into a smaller space, seeing the whole globe, then seeing Europe, then seeing the Scotland, Ireland, and then coming back to the Isle of Man and looking at my own town from the top, and then my own house, and then back into my space. I felt like an astronaut. It was very special. One thing that I also do is my emotional intelligence. I've done some of the work with emotional intelligence, so that really helped me to feel and control my emotions in difficult situations, but also to feel and engage other people's emotions. Being a dentist, you sometimes work, I always work so close to people in their personal sphere, which is challenging, of course. You work with people who are scared. Sometimes people transfer people transfer their fear, their anxiety right into you. You have to absorb that and deal with that. Often people are they don't mean what they do, and they can come across as really being blunt and abrupt. And I now read people's emotions better. Also, it's still a process for me, for sure. And I'm more aware of my own emotions, on a level where I feel almost, as Karin said, you can feel it on your skin, and therefore I control it better. And that is one thing that I still have to work on, but I'm started to work on that. I think the luxury of feeling yourself being connected to your environment, you see everything, you notice things are magnified, even looking in nature, people's reactions, everything is like a movie where you see things better, it's more amplified, and you don't miss so much. In today's society, we have a problem where people are they're hijacked on social media, they're all the time being taken away from where they are. They transform into false reality of someone else's life through social media, more worried about what's going on in other people's life by looking at social media all the time. But what this gives you, it really brings you back and grounds you, but also puts you back in where you are, but also in touch with your surroundings, with nature, and feeling more calm. It really takes away anxiety, because I do believe that people who are constantly on social media are more anxious, they live a more unrealistic life, and they are so detached that they lose a lot. There's nothing that can come, no money can buy this feeling of connectiveness that you have when you're totally in touch with where you are at any given time. I think that's very special. Anyone can benefit from that. It makes me more calm. It makes you consider things better. I think it makes you a kinder person, a more understanding person, and you really appreciate the bigger picture. You appreciate, as Karin would say, the source. It is just like you feel more purified, I think. The other thing that I also wanted to say, I'm sleeping so much better because I listened to Karin's the evening one. I think it's called the healing, and I put that on, and I sleep so well. And even this little boy here sleeps like a baby, and he listens to that with me. So yeah, it's made a total transformation in my life.